Hello, welcome to week 4, and yes, this is what I look like if you missed the end of last week's video. Little bit of a change, very bald. Hope you guys are all doing well. I hope you've had a good week. I hope that you enjoyed watching me shave my head and looking very dramatic about it. And also, you know, the point where I was like, oh, I think I've got most of it, and there were still strands hanging off literally all over my head. But that was a lot of fun. Hopefully everyone enjoyed it. Hopefully everyone that donated thought that was, you know, a satisfying conclusion. Yeah, I'm sure, you know, there's a few ideas that have been rattling around in this bald head in terms of other fundraising drives, other ideas that I can come up with to make it fun, because, you know, at the end of the day, obviously anyone donating knows their money is going towards a great cause. But if we can make it fun, if we can do something like this, you know, it makes it exciting, it makes it enjoyable, it makes it, you know, it's not just a case of, hi, can I have your money please? There's something fun to go with it. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that. You may be able to see on my glasses, it's a little bit wet today, but I'll come back to that in a moment. So this week's sessions are brisk 5-minute warm-up walk, then jog for 3 minutes, walk for 90 seconds, jog for 5 minutes, walk for 2.5 minutes, jog for 3 minutes, walk for 90 seconds, jog for 5 minutes. Which is really long-winded, but it doesn't quite repeat, so I can't just do it 2 times this. So yeah, totaling 31 minutes and 30 seconds. I've just got back and I didn't really look at that completely. I'd seen when I looked yesterday that it was like 5-minute warm-up walk, jog for 3 minutes, walk, then jog for 5 minutes, and I only realised when it beeped for the first run, and the first run was 3 minutes. I think in my head I thought it was going to be jog 90, walk 90, jog 3, walk 3, jog 5, walk 5. That's kind of what I had in my head, but obviously it was, the first one was, this is run number 1 of 4. Run for 3 minutes. And I was like, that doesn't quite sound like what I was expecting. So I had to do it a little bit blind and just rely on the beeps, but yeah, that was a great move. I'm going to be more careful in future weeks. I think today is the day that I've least wanted to go out when it's been time to do one. And like the first one that I did, I kind of had to psych myself up for and do it first thing in the morning so I didn't talk myself out of it and all of that kind of shit. But since then, I've you know, it's been fairly easy to psych myself up. There's obviously 1 or 2 days where I've not been feeling the best, or I've mentioned on here that, you know, I had a bit more water that I was carrying in my gut, and so I didn't feel, you know, amazing going out. But most of the time, you know, it's been a case of, even if it's tough, it's still enjoyable, it's still a challenge, it's still something I want to be doing to get to the 10k goal, to raise money, to be making these vlogs. You know, it's something that I have enjoyed for the most part. Even if it's tough, it's something that I want to go out and do. And even if it's something that I'm nervous about, for instance with the 3 minutes of continuous running, I was like, oh, I'm a bit nervous about that, but I'm just going to give it a shot, and, you know, we'll see how it goes. And then even when it rained last week, it was kind of like, this is gonna suck, at least the weather aspect, but it was almost kind of like fun, kind of like with when it was like wet play in school but you still went out and played football. It was kind of that kind of vibe. Today I really was in 2 minds about going out, so I spent most of yesterday and today, bank holiday, up with my brother and his girlfriend. We've been hanging out, playing games. It's been really fun, but unfortunately today I had a really pounding headache and it was just brutal. It got worse over the afternoon, and when I came down to my flat probably about 4:30, 4:45, I took some ibuprofen, had some more drinks, so I got some more fluids in me, that kind of thing, but my head was sore. It was kind of in the top of my head, like back here, but the movement aspect, I was like, the bounce of jogging is gonna probably feel rubbish, as is the music. And then while I was sort of sitting waiting for the ibuprofen to kick in, taking on some more fluids and that, my brother then messaged me and was like, oh, did you get wet? I was like, I haven't been yet, but let's have a look out the window. And then I could see it was raining, as, you know, I mean, some of it's dried off a bit now off my glasses, but you'll see in the clip I took at the park, it was wet. It was really, really raining by the time I left. So I was really in two minds between headache and rain and all of that. And I also have a call with my family this evening, so time-wise I was thinking, well, I've got to run, film something, shower, eat, and then be ready for the call. But I went, obviously. As you can now see, I was gonna wear a snapback to partially cover up my head a bit and also protect me from some of the rain, and a light jacket for my arms. And then I realised quite how much it was raining, so I threw on a raincoat instead, which was interesting in itself. I thought I was going to overheat, but actually I was able to keep it on for the whole run. But yeah, the rain was pretty tough. It was very cold rain. The heaviness kind of went in and out. The heaviness kind of intensified and de-intensified. I don't know, I can't think of the right word there, but it got heavier and lighter as I was going. But it was also quite windy, so on the first 3-minute jog, some of the wind was behind me and it was kind of pushing me on, and I was like, no, I need to like rein this in, I need to sort of almost fight against it to slow down a bit. But at times it was pushing me back or sort of sideways, which was not fun. And I also took a slightly different route where so the first runs I did, I just went back and forth across a section of grass. Then I think in week 2 I started going round the path, like round the back of the park, which is going to make no sense. It's going to mean nothing to most people, but I went round the back of the park. I might bring up one of the run tracker screens to show people, but I started running around the back of the path, which you see in some of the photos. But there's often kids, like at the end of the path there's like a park where people play football and stuff, and there's a little kids player and stuff, so I was like, I don't really want to run through that, so I would then sort of double back and come back down the path to where I started again. But today that area was really empty, so I did go up and cut through some of the car park to get so it was rather than a semicircle, C shape, it was instead a full loop. Not the biggest loop, but you know, a loop around the park. Not realising that on some of the bit that I don't usually run, there was a slight incline as well. And that was where some of the wind was hitting me, particularly on the second 5-minute jog. So that was tough. I definitely felt, you know, my thighs and my calves burning at times. I feel okay now, like I don't feel too tired, and today's one wasn't too bad by the end. It was just the actual 5-minute ones were quite tough, and I think even the 3-minute ones, it's like last week 3-minute was the toughest bit, it was the challenge, and then now that's the easy bit this week, so that's quite a step. And in terms of just amount of time running, obviously last week it was 2 3-minute sections and 2 90-second sections, so it was like 7.5 minutes. This one it's 2 5s and 2 3s, so that's 16 minutes. It's almost doubled in a week. But there was like 2 or 3 seconds during a jogging section that I walked, because the second 5-minute one, the app beeped. So I was like, oh, okay, sick, I can walk now. And it was like 1 minute remaining, and I was like, fuck, I've still got another minute of jogging. So I did pick up straight away again, but that's the app. I'm blaming that on the app, not me. But yeah, so it was tough. The conditions were tough. My head actually wasn't too bad, and I feel better now, which is good. You know, I don't know if it was the running or just the ibuprofen kicked in, but hey, I'm not complaining. The not knowing exactly what was coming was tough, although self-inflicted, and yeah, but it was good. In terms of stats, I was actually really happy. I did 4.8 kilometers, which is the second longest one so far. And I did it in 40 minutes and 59 seconds, which is the third longest one so far in terms of time. But the speed, according to the app, was still 8.32, which matches last week. I'm sticking within that same consistent area, even though today, the distance went up, the time went up, the proportion of it I was jogging went up, and it was more of a challenge. So the fact that I've maintained the same kind of level with that, it's in line with those ones that were a bit shorter last week, is a really good sign. So I'm really happy with that. Really happy with that. Not sponsored. And I think the good thing is psychologically as well, I hope, touch wood, that Wednesday and Friday when I go out and do the same session, it will be easier, because I won't have, you know, my headache, I won't have, hopefully, this weather, and I probably won't go for the incline. I think the first 5-minute one was the first loop, and I hit the incline and I was like, yeah, fuck that. The second one, I'm just gonna go back to doing the C shape instead of the incline. But then I got back round to where I would have to turn back, and I was like, on the second 5-minute one, right at the end I was like, nah, fuck it, we're gonna do this. Like, if we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it properly. Like, I don't have to do it the rest of the week if it's particularly busy in that area. But it comes back to the kind of, one of the things I said, like, in terms of pushing myself into that extra level and, you know, being tired and going, no, actually, I'll give you something to be tired about in that kind of jokey way. But it is, like, I remember when I was doing some home workouts last year, and I would sort of get to the end of what was planned, and then there would be that little voice that's like, bet you can't do another set, or something like that, and then I would almost challenge myself, or you know, with push-ups or sit-ups, like, get to where I, you know, my goal for the day, and then be like, bet you can't do 5 more, bet you can't do 10 more, or whatever, like, you know. So I suppose it's almost like that kicking in with this. That said, I can see I've recorded 14 minutes, so we're back to week 1 where I just fucking talk forever. Nailed it. But yeah, I'm gonna go. I hope you've enjoyed my bald head. I'm gonna leave it there because I need to shut up and I need to carry on with my evening, sorry. But yeah, pleasure as always talking to you, and I will catch you on Wednesday. Hi, how's it going? I'm here with my main man Gil. You may have seen in the background of some of the previous weeks, he is an IKEA shark that my brother and his girlfriend bought me for my birthday, but he's now a sofa shark, so he's chilling in here. You may notice we're in a different room today as well. There is a reason for that. I will come on to that in a second. If you can hear any background noise from that direction, then I apologise. And you can see just some like boxes and shit in the corner, sorry. And cards that are still up from my birthday, which was almost 2 weeks ago. So yeah, today sucked. As a day, it wasn't, you know, the worst day in the world. It was kind of meh. You know, it happened. It wasn't terribly awful, but it wasn't very great either. It was just kind of a day. It was really sunny, lovely blue skies this morning around 9 o'clock, and then throughout the day it alternated between awful, awful rain, like torrential, and lovely blue skies. And at one point, I think in the afternoon, maybe about 3-4 o'clock, there was some hail here along with the torrential rain, and someone that we know who lives on the other side of Reading said that they even got a little bit of snow. So fucking awful weather. But it started to clear up again. It started to clear up by 5 o'clock. So I was like, let's fucking go, let's do this. We're gonna do this. Like, we had a bit of rain the other day, we had a bit of rain the other week as well. Like, it's not gonna put me off. I'm still gonna go out and you know, get it done ultimately. And yeah, it was fairly nice when I was starting to get ready. So I got dressed. Well, not got dressed, I had been dressed earlier, but got changed into running gear. And starting to do my, like, starting to, you know, get in the zone, about to start doing my warm-up, and then I started seeing that the clouds were getting a bit darker again, and I was like, okay, maybe I'll change into something else, because I was wearing like light grey shorts, and I was like, if I wear light grey shorts and I do get rained on, that's gonna look really silly, because they're gonna like get patchy where it's wet, and it's gonna look like I've wet myself, that kind of thing. So I was like, I changed into my black shorts, and like, I wore a hat, because I was like, I'm not really too sure how I feel about just going out with this anyway, but also where I thought it might rain, I was like, oh, if I wear like a hat, I can then have the sun protector visor actually stopping some of the, I just bit my tongue mid-sentence. I have no idea how I did that. And it kind of hurt as well. But yeah, the sun protector visor bit would block out some of the rain from my glasses and from, you know, my face in general, but mainly, you know, keep my glasses a bit clearer, that kind of thing. Did my warm up. Clouds were still looking a bit threatening, but it wasn't too bad. So I was like, fuck it, we'll just go. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It was not fine. In a word, it was not fine. By the time I'd sort of left like our little, like, because I live in a building where there are flats with other people, so by the time I sort of cleared the building, there were spots of rain, and I was like, okay, it's starting to spit a little bit, but it'll be okay. It's not going to get any worse than this. We're gonna be alright. As I got around the corner, it started to rain lightly, you know, drizzle kind of level, and I was like, it's gonna be fine. I'm not turning back. I'm doing this. I'm not gonna cower out of it and go back home and, you know, avoid it for a little bit of rain. It's gonna be fine. By the time I got to the park, it was starting to piss it down. There were strong cold winds, and as I started the first 3-minute jog, there was some hail as well that started to come down, and I'm there in, you know, I wear tights under the shorts obviously, but I was in a t-shirt with like near torrential rain, driving winds that were super cold, and a bit of hail. So I was like, hopefully it'll pass, I'll stay under the tree cover, we'll see how this goes kind of thing. So I did the first 3-minute run, and like my shirt was starting to stick. Like here, it was starting to stick to my chest and my tummy a bit, which, especially when it's cold rain and cold wind, is not pleasant. And it carried on. I could feel where the cold was getting into my hands. I was having to do this to keep my hands moving so they didn't go like numb or anything like that. My skin was going like bright, like pinky red kind of colour as well, and yeah, it was really, really unpleasant. And then obviously once I'd gone round the back of the park, I was then out in another open area where there was strong wind again. So yeah, I did the first 3-minute and the first 5-minute run, and then during the like walking section after the 5-minute run, I took a little video in the park just so I could, you know, have something to show you exactly how bad it was. And then I put my phone away, it beeped in my ear, and it was saying you're halfway, but I had a lot going on at that point, so took that as, oh, it's time to start running again, began running, jogging. And then about a minute into that, it was then like, now start jogging for 3 minutes, and I was like, oh, fuck, I started too early. But I was coming back around towards where I started anyway. The wind was picking up again. It was still really heavy rain. At that point, I made the decision. I was like, I've got to tap out of this. I've got to just come home. I can jog some of the way home, obviously, but I can't stay out in this weather, in this clothing, and keep running. So at that point, I just came home. I jogged some of it, I walked some of it. But yeah, I had to tap out today. I'm really disappointed. Obviously I can give myself a break. I know it was atrocious weather, and you know, the conditions were awful, but it's disappointing to have wasted a day, wasted the energy, wasted the, you know, motivation and psyching up, and I can't go back out now because I've expended a lot of energy. Obviously I was running rather than jogging some of it home because I was like, I don't care about conserving energy or pacing myself. I just want to get home so I can get into the warmth, get out of the rain, get into some dry clothes, that kind of thing. But it's still frustrating. Once I'd sort of dried off a little bit, I did cool down exercises still because I don't want to hurt myself, but I felt sore in that, and particularly my left shin felt a bit sore. I had a little bit of that last week, but it wasn't too bad, so I was kind of like, I'll see how it goes. And it was fine on Monday, but that hurt a bit, so I'm gonna have to keep an eye on that. But yeah, it's just frustrating. And the sod's law, bright sunshine now. You know, if I couldn't see that there was water droplets on the window, if I'd been asleep for the past 2 hours, I wouldn't even know that weather had happened. So in terms of sitting in this room, just as I sort of circle back around to that, I've put my clothes, because like, you know, it was hard getting out of my t-shirt. It was that soaked, it was sticking to my skin. So all of my clothes are on a clothes horse, clothes dryer in the shower. I've got the extractor fan for the shower and a dehumidifier on. Obviously they have like buzzing and humming noises, so I didn't want to sit in my bedroom, which the camera would be the other side of the wall from the shower where the extractor fan is. So that's why I decided to come in here. I can flex my nice mantelpiece as well. Not that it's mine, I'm renting obviously, but it is what it is. We will go again on Friday. Yeah, I'm not gonna say, because I said on Monday, hopefully with some better weather on Wednesday, and then this happens, so I'm not gonna say it again today, but fingers crossed that Friday I'll at least be able to complete it. Yeah, we'll just have to see how it goes really. I'm gonna order myself pizza in a minute because I fucking want to. It'll warm me up and it'll cheer me up a little bit as well. So yeah, I mean, stats don't really matter for today because I didn't complete the actual exercise. But for what it's worth, I did 3.45 kilometers in 27 minutes and 28 seconds, which meant that my average pace was 7 minutes and 58 seconds per kilometer, which is the fastest I've done any of the exercises so far, but that is because I pegged it home and then potentially hurt my left leg anyway. So fuck it, it is kind of an anomaly because it's not a fair representation of my actual pace. On that note, I'm gonna pack up and then order a pizza and hope that I don't have to wait too long. So yeah, for now it is goodbye from me and it is goodbye from Gil as well. I'll catch you on Friday. I just got back. I had to tap out about halfway on that one. You can probably see my hat's dripping water. You can see how soaked I am. It was hailing at one point. It was even more torrential than Monday's one, but I am not wearing a coat today. I'm just in a t-shirt which is now stuck to me. I tried. Hi, how's it going? So it's Friday. We're back in the bedroom this time. That sounds wrong. No rain today, thankfully. It's about fucking time after back-to-back horrible weather and my first DNF on Wednesday. We're back on form, back to normal, which is what we want really, especially after Wednesday. I know I can't control the weather and I know there is wisdom in knowing when to quit. It still obviously sucked. But yeah, back on form today, which is good. And I'm very happy today actually. Not only did I do the full session, which has, you know, obviously the longer intervals and the most jogging within it. I didn't stop during any of the jogs and that, you know, the last 5-minute one, the last minute and a half, I pushed it into a bit of a higher gear and was able to keep going to the end and not like vomit or collapse. And then including like all of the walking, you know, from leaving the flat to getting back to the flat, for the first time I passed 5k in one individual evening. And I think that's a pretty fucking good milestone. I'm very happy with that. On Monday's one, I did 4.8. So I was like, okay, we're kind of in that area. It'll either probably be this week or next week. And then obviously with Wednesday, I was so fucking disappointed on Wednesday. So to then smash that barrier today and do 5.2 is the high that I think I needed to achieve to round off this week. So yeah, very, very happy with that. In terms of stats, I did 5.2 and I was out for 43 minutes and 42 seconds. So it's a long one this evening as well. But it also, ignoring the one on Wednesday where I kind of had to run home, so it doesn't really count properly, it's also the fastest that I've done because the speed that the app measured was 8 minutes and 24 seconds per kilometre. So you know, being able to do not just the longest one, break 5k, but also do it in the quickest time per kilometre out of any of the runs that I've done. Really, really happy with that, really positive. So, fuck yeah. Got my bald head out. There were plenty of people at the park, so if there was anyone in the park in previous weeks who'd seen me and I don't know, having bleach blonde hair is fairly recognisable, they would have got a shock today with the... I actually really like it. I've warmed to it a lot more than I thought I was going to. I might keep it like this for a while, you know. We'll see. I ended up going a little bit later today as well. We had a call as a team, so I don't think I actually left work till about 6:30. We were like playing games and shit because it's Friday afternoon, so I have a cool team, so it's all good. But yeah, so it's 8:05 now, and even when I was at the park walking, I was like, I can't wait to get home and make some pasta. So I'm gonna go do that and be very, very happy doing so. The only other thing I suppose that I should mention in terms of tonight's run is when I started, my ankles and my shins were a bit sore. I've had a little bit of pain in them once or twice, or a little bit of ache in them once or twice, but I figured it was maybe because on Wednesday, like with running home, I wasn't really being careful, I wasn't really pacing it or anything like that. I was just, it's hailstorm, I need to get home. And then obviously where I was like dripping wet, I had to sort of sort that out before I could then do cool down exercises in my living room, otherwise the carpet would have just got soaked. So we'll see how they go, see how I feel tomorrow morning. But I might need to keep more of a close eye on them and make sure that I don't end up hurting myself. They were sore at the beginning, but as I got into it, they weren't too bad, and I was able to obviously complete all of the jogging sections. So all good. On that note, I will leave you. So I hope that you have a great week. I hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to leave a like, feel free to subscribe if you are new. I know certainly on the head shaving video, a large proportion of people watching it were not subscribed, which to be fair with the head shaving video, it's kind of expected. It's going to get a little bit more buzz. I will catch you next week for week 5 and whatever excitement and roller coaster ride that's got in store for us after this week. I'm scared to even wish for good weather at this point. But yeah, take care, have a good week, and I will see you next Sunday. Bye for now. It's very wet and very windy, and I did a slightly different route with an incline that way, because usually this field is super busy, but yeah. It's super fucking wet. It's so wet. It was like hail at one point. Oh god. It's the third run for this week. Technically second that I've finished, but third that I've done. Much better weather thankfully, which is good. So bring on the weekend.